We can unpack all of this with Greg Simons, a Russian politics analyst and professor of armed conflicts and journalism at Daffodil University, speaking to us from Dhaka in Bangladesh. Greg, good to have you on the program. Evident there, as we've outlined, as we've been speaking to our correspondents, Donbass is incredibly important for both sides. As it stands right now, though, Russia does control most of the area. Does this mean that Moscow has an upper hand here?
Well, not only the fact that Russia controls the large portion of the territory, but the fact that Russia has an advantage on the battlefield. Ukraine is on the losing side. They're getting pushed back. So this not only gives political leverage, it also gives military leverage.
And how could Russia then use that political and military leverage in these trilateral talks that are taking place right now? The first time that Ukrainian, Russian and US teams have been meeting since this war started 4 years ago.
By the fact that as they are in control of the battlefield, they have a dominance in the politics of this, because ultimately the losing side is the side that is forced to make concessions, which is how warfare always has been the case. And the United States is not in a position to really enforce any kind of or force any kind of concessions from Russia, because it's simply politically and militarily, it's very risky and not likely to work, considering all of what has been attempted to force Russia in these last 2 years.
Professor, the Americans did, though, put forward an idea of a free economic zone in Donbass. Do you think this could possibly work, or something that the Russians simply wouldn't accept?
I don't think they'd accept that, because once more, I mean, this is Russian sovereign territory according to Russian law, because it's been added to Russia. And in this respect, to have this would have to be, I would not consider it very likely to be accepted or even considered in a serious manner.
What about the people who live in this region? It is quite a big region. Is there any sort of idea about what it is that they want, whether or not they want to be part of Russia or Ukraine?
Well, they're not really wanting to be part of Ukraine, because ever since what was called the anti-terrorist operation, which occurred after Euromaidan, there was an attempt to beat them into submission using military means. I mean, you had Poroshenko saying that children in Donbass will grow up in basements while artillery is shelling the place. But they have, I mean, what Ukraine has done and what has happened since, I don't see any going back there to how it was before 2014.
Thank you very much for your analysis, Professor Greg Simons. Appreciate it.